Good day everyone, it's me again, Mr. Ramsey, and welcome to the week 6 of our online class. The topic that we'll have today is about speed and velocity. Okay, so before we go to our topic, we'll review first the topic that we have last week. So here we have direction. So direction is either north, south, east, or west. Displacement. So displacement is the shortest path or shortest distance that the object travels. Next is distance. So distance, it refers to the length of the entire path that the object traveled. Before we go to our topic, let us first read the vocabularies that we are going to use for this week's discussion. So first here is speed. Again, repeat after me. Speed. Let us spell the word speed. Repeat after me. S-P-E-E-D. Speed. Next word. Velocity. Let us spell the word velocity. V-E-L-O-C-I-T-Y. Velocity. Next word. Direction. Direction is spelled as D-I-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. Direction. Okay, what is speed? So speed is a proportion of distance to time, or it is the relationship between distance over the time. Another definition of speed is it is the rate of change of distance. When you say rate of, it refers to time, and changing is the distance. So what is the formula that we're going to use when we solve for speed? So speed, it is distance over time. So speed is equals to distance divided by the time. So what are the formulas that we're going to use when we need to calculate speed, time, and distance? So we use the formula triangle. So this is the formula triangle. So S refers to speed, D here refers to distance, and T here refers to time. So to calculate speed, what is the formula? So when we want to get what is the speed of an object, or what is the speed of the object travels, it is speed is equals distance over time. Again, speed, distance over time. Next one is if we have to calculate the time, so time here equals to distance over speed. Again, time, distance over speed. Next one here, to calculate distance, or if we have to get the distance, what we're going to do is to multiply speed and time. So distance is equals to speed times time. Okay, let's go back. So let's review. To calculate speed, what are we going to do? So speed is equals distance divided by the time. Again, speed is equals to distance divided by the time. When we want to calculate the time, the formula is distance over speed, or distance divided by the speed. Next is when we want to calculate what is the distance, the formula is speed times time. So we have here the table, the quantity, the symbol, unit, okay, symbol of the unit, and the equation. Okay, again, quantity, symbol of that quantity, unit, symbol of that unit, and the equation. So first here is speed. So what is the symbol for speed? It's either V or S. And the unit that they use to for the symbol of speed is meter per second. Again, meter per second. So the symbol for meter per second is m over s, or m slash s. And the equation on how we are going to get the speed is v, or s, is equals to distance over time, or v is equals to d over t, or v is equals to distance over time. The next one is distance. So the symbol for distance is letter D. The unit for distance is meter. Again, meter. So the symbol for meter is letter M. And the equation on how we're going to get the distance is equals to V times T, or distance is equals to S times time, or S times T. Next is this time. So what is the symbol for time? It's letter T. And the unit when we get the time is the answer. The unit for the answer of when we get the time is second, and the symbol is letter S. So when time is equals to D divided by V, or D divided by S, or time is equals to distance divided by speed. Okay, so how do we compute for average speed? So average speed is equals to the total distance traveled over total time taken. Again, average speed, total distance traveled over total time taken. So note, the distance traveled by a moving object with the average speed can be calculated using the following calculations. So when say distance, it is the distance traveled is measured in meters. The distance traveled is in meters. Average speed is measured in meters per second, or m over s, or m slash s. And time is measured in seconds. Here. So we have here an example. So a car travels 500 meters in 50 seconds. Then 1,500 meters in 75 seconds. Calculate its average speed for the whole journey. So first, what we're going to do is to calculate the total distance traveled. So what is the distance here? How do we know that it is distance? Because the unit is in meters. Okay, so here is the first distance. So 500 meters plus another distance, which is 1,500 meters. So 500 meters plus 1,500 meters is equals to 2,000 meters. Then the second one that you're going to do is to calculate the total time taken. So how do you know that it is time? It is because of the unit seconds. So what is the first time? So 50 seconds. And then the second is 75 seconds. So how we're going to do this? So we're going to add the time. So 50 seconds plus 75 seconds, which is, the answer is 125 seconds. So then we have to use the formula to calculate the average speed. What is the formula? So total distance traveled divided by total time taken. So what is the total distance again? That is 2,000 meters divided by, what is the total time taken? 125 seconds. So 200 meters to 2,000 meters divided by 125 seconds, it is equals to 16 meters per second. Okay, next, we will define what is velocity. What is velocity? It is the rate of change of displacement, okay, ignore the word of displacement, or how fast you are going in a particular direction, okay? So it is the rate of change of displacement or how fast you are going in a particular direction. So velocity is displacement over change of time. So the symbol for velocity is letter V with a dash at the top, and or a line at the top is equals to triangle is change or displacement of um, the displacement, okay, and change of time is triangle and letter T. That is how you're going to write this one. So how do we calculate velocity? So V here, which stands for V with the dash at the top, um, refers to velocity, is equals to displacement, which is letter S with a line at the top, over time. Okay, again, so velocity here equals to change in position, which is what you refers to as displacement, and over change in time. Okay, so again, velocity is equals to change in position over change in time, or it equals to displacement over time. So we have here calculation of how we can get the velocity. So Jim gets on his bike and rides 300 meters west. Okay, so 300 meters the distance, and there is a direction in 60 seconds. So 60 seconds here is the time. So the displacement is 300 meters. Why is it displacement? Because it has direction, because displacement is a vector quantity. So 300 meters west, that is the displacement, and 60 seconds is the time. So the question here is, what is his velocity? So how can we get the velocity? So V here, or with the line on the top, so V is equals to displacement over time. So V here is equals to 300 meters divided by 60 seconds, which is the time. So 300 meters, this is the displacement, and T here is the time, which is 60 seconds. So 300 meters divided by 60 seconds, that is 5 meters per second. And then there is, when we have velocity, it always have a direction. So the answer is velocity is equals to 5 meters per second west. So we have here example of average speed and velocity. So how do we know that it's a speed? Because it has only magnitude. So for example here, the dog runs for 9 kilometers per hour. So 9 kilometers per hour is only a magnitude. So that is speed. When you say velocity, the dog runs 9 kilometers per hour, which is the magnitude, and velocity has a direction. So northeast. So that is the direction. So that is the difference between speed and velocity. So we have here an example of solving for average speed and velocity. So practice problem 2. So a car travels 120 meters north, then 30 meters south, then finally 60 meters north. So it does this in 120 seconds. So what is the average speed and what is the average velocity? So when you say speed, it is the time, the total distance that an object travels. So speed, you have to add 120 meters plus 30 meters plus 60 meters. So that is 210 meters divided by 120 seconds. Okay, so 210, which is the total distance that the car travels, divided by 120 seconds is equals to 1.75 meters per second. So because the unit for speed is meters per second. Next is, what is the average velocity? So when you say average velocity, it is the displacement. So first here, 120 meters north. So going to the north, it is 120 meters, and then it goes again to south. So when from the north going to south, so it travels 120 meters to the north, then it goes back to the south for 30 meters. So what we're going to do is to minus or subtract. So 120 minus 30 meters to the south. Then go back again to north, which is 60 meters. So how we're going to solve this? So 120 meters north minus 30 meters south, then plus 60 meters north again. Okay, 120 minus 30, that is 90. So 90 meters plus 60 meters is equals to 150 meters divided by 120. So the answer is 1.25 meters per second. So for additional information about the topic, please view the video attached in materials of our Google Classroom. So please answer the quiz attached in the assignment of your Google Classroom. Thank you, everyone.